Hello and welcome to Throttle Up. Today we are going to review the Toyota Innova 2.4 Z variant. This is the topmost variant and this one is the diesel automatic variant. Toyota Innova has been one of the best selling MUVs for not just the Toyota brand but overall in the Indian market. So in the 20 to 30 lakhs price bracket it is one of the favorites of the Indian consumers, and let's just see what all does the car have to offer and why is it one of the favorites among us. So without further ado, let's get straight into the review. It is powered by a 2.4-liter diesel engine which produces 150 PS of power and around 360 Nm of torque. So it's a 2400cc engine and it does have a lot of punch to offer. Coming to the hood, it's very heavy and provides proper insulation to provide lesser cabin noise, and it's a really heavy hood as I just mentioned. Looking at the front fascia of the car, you can immediately notice all the changes that have been done on the front, starting with the grille. The grille has gotten bigger in size and is covered with chrome surrounds and has a proper space where you can see the double horns on the engine. This is also a different take on the grille as compared to the last generation. As you can see, there's a lot of space given for the ventilation of that engine. So there's also a glossy skid plate finish in the body color. There you can see the fog lamps too, which are almost inconspicuous. This is the LED setup and it also comes with this chrome surround for the extended headlamp look. You get the projector LED, halogen high beam and LED DRLs. This is the indicator which is halogen and the LED fog lamp. You also get front parking sensors in this variant which was not there in the outgoing generation. So that's a good bit. This is how the LED fog lamp and projector setup looks like. So this is pretty much for the updated version of the headlamps and the grille. Coming to the side profile, it is a really long car because it has 3 rows and it comes with a length of 4735 mm in length and has a wheelbase of around 2750. So that's pretty big, and as you can see it's really long. It has that particular Innova design and that cut on the left which has been carried forward across generations, but then again it has stuck with the Indian market and it looks good. It has nothing very fancy and nothing very striking. So coming to the bits and different design elements, this is a chrome finished ORVM with the turn indicators, and the tire size is 275 55 are 17 inches. So 17 size is a good enough size. They might have gone for a 18 incher since this is the topmost variant, but the 17 suffices. The design looks good and is a much appreciated update from the outgoing generation when it comes to the alloy design. It does get chrome handles and chrome on the window sill. It does not get roof rails. I would have liked roof rails because it would have enhanced the side profile of the car. Coming to the rear, it does get a proper halogen setup out and out. No LED business going on there. So this is how the LED looks like when it's lit up. Proper halogen setup, bulb for indicators, bulb for reverse lights and bulb for the tail lights. So no LED. They could have updated it since this is the 2022 version and everyone's going LED. So this is the rear overall. Comes with Innova Crystal 2.4Z badging. That is the rear parking camera. Has a Toyota badging. Comes with a rear wiper, rear defogger, reflectors in the bottom, and the fifth wheel is at the bottom. It's not in the boot since it does not have much space, and the exhaust. No fake exhaust business going as such. And let's go to the boot. So it does not get ample boot space as such since it does come with a third row. This is how it looks when one seat is up and one seat is down. It does come with a boot lamp. Don't mistake this grill for a speaker because it's not. I don't know the function of it, but it's not a subwoofer. Coming to the left side, it does come with a place to keep your middle headrest if the seats are up, the third row is up, and it comes with a regulator where you can lock and unlock that placeholder. If it's locked, the headrest will not move. If it's unlocked, you can just remove the headrest from there and put it in the seat if you want to use the third row. So that is for that place. This is the buckle to put your seat up, and it comes with two sort of ropes like thing. One is for the buckle to keep it up and one is to pull it so that the backrest collapses just like this, and then you can put it. As for like rather putting the third row up, it does take a bit of effort because I'm doing it with one hand. If you even do it with two hands, it does require a certain bit of effort because it's not that easy. And I don't even expect electric because it would have driven the costs really up. So that is how you have to do the things there. But as you can see, it does provide a lot of boot space when you put the seats up. The claimed figures for the boot is 300 liters, but it does not make sense practically because it's shaped in a way where you can't use those 300 liters. You have to put the seat up in order to create that boot space. Coming to the second row, uh, this is the color of the interior, but before that, we look at the door. It comes with a proper premium wood paneling and dark wood finish, which is really nice. Hard plastic on the top, but this is soft fabric touch, no leather. This is silver garnish with the auto down feature for all the four windows. This is hard plastic again, but bottle holders and speaker. I like the speaker web sort of Spider-Man-ish design, but that's the door lamp as well. It's not red, it's simple yellow halogen bulb. They could have given a red lamp. I don't know. I would have appreciated a bit more. But coming to the second row of the seat, very comfortable place to be in. Innova is one of the most comfortable cars all of us know, so there is no chance you'll get tired in the seat. But nonetheless, talking about the features, it does come with this armrest, does come with this table and cup holders to keep your food or your laptop if you are going for a long drive, and it's sturdy. If you place it properly, it is sturdy and you can put it down. It will not just tumble like that. It comes with a magazine holder, this wooden finish also on this back of the seat, and you can also adjust the seat to provide either leg space to the third row or just according to your comfort. So that's how you can adjust the seat, just like you adjust the driver's side or the co-driver side seats. So that is for the comfort. This is the boss mode. So you do get the boss mode as well to adjust the co-driver side from the back itself. You get ambient lighting which you can adjust from those controls, and for the fan controls as well. Those are the AC vents which you also get in the third row, just like in the second row. This is for the halogen lamp, and that's the button to use that. And there's a grab handles for all the sides, even the third row itself. And this is the halogen cabin lamp. Would have liked an LED unit for that cabin lamp, but nonetheless, you at least get ambient lighting, so that's a good bit. You do not get a sunroof. Okay, very good leg space and thigh support, and you also get ample headroom because there is a lot of space between the roofline and the headrest. So even if you're tall, you will have no complaints whatsoever. This topmost variant is only available in 7-seat options. There are no 8-seat options available. So now let's move to the third row. I'll show you the experience of moving from the second row to the third row, and it is difficult. Some would like the second row to tumble and then you can move to the third row, but I like this one better because you don't have to put down the seats every time you want to get in the third row. But nonetheless, this is the experience from the third row. Very cramped, ideal for two people at max. Very cramped. You do get space. You do also get a window so as to prevent you from claustrophobia. It doesn't open, although, just like any other third row car, but this is the look that you get from the third row. Very long car, very big car, and has a lot of space in the cabin itself. Not for the third row. You can also adjust the second row to create more space, but again, everyone would have decent space and not very uh, really huge leg room in the second row would be left if you have to create a decent space in the third row. That is pretty much it for the third row, because you can just see how difficult it is for a average sized man to get out of it. So that is why I just mentioned that it's okay for a kid. This is the leg room, pretty much minimal, but then again there is space there. So I just haven't adjusted. But even though you adjusted, you get the idea that you don't get a lot of space. So that's that. So you also get a foldable cup holder in the space between the second row. So decent plastic, very not very sturdy, but yes, will do the job if you want to just put your bottles or cups there. So that is about it for the second and third row. Pretty much there's space to keep just behind the center console, because you get the AC vents up at the top. So now let's move to the cockpit and let's have an overview of the dashboard. So although I like the colors, side note, I like the colors that they have used in the interior. Coming to the main door, you get this very 3D fabric touch, which I like. Hard plastics on the top, silver finish on the buttons. All the four windows are auto up down, which is a very nice touch. This is again wooden appeal. It's plastic, but it has a premium dark wood appeal. Hard plastics there, same design for the speaker obviously, and you get a relatively lesser space on the door of the driver's side. This is electrically adjustable seat. Both the lumbar support and the backrest can be adjusted electrically, so that's a nice thing. It's an automatic but comes with a dead pedal, two pedals obviously. A very cheap looking plastic. It's not very premium to feel. You get the controls for hood opener, fuel lid opener, for that diesel particle cleaner, and for your parking sensor. These are the four buttons that you get on the bottom. This is a cubby pocket, sort of has a different finish to it, opens very differently. So now coming to the cockpit and the steering wheel of the car, it is again finished in leather and wood. Again, something which Toyota normally does, it also does in the Fortuner. Has an engine start stop button, which is a relatively more premium plastic. This is the instrument cluster. It does not have a digital thing going on, simple MID, TFT MID, and two proper analog panels. I like the Fortuner one better, but then it's more expensive. It is not very expensive looking. It's not what you expect from a 25 lakh rupees car, but then have an analog instrument cluster rather than a shoddy looking digital instrument cluster. You can control the MIT to the right side of the steering wheel, the top part of it, the lower part of it where you get the odometer and simple fuel details. There's a stick given, just like in a Maruti. It's a 25, almost rather 27 lakhs on road car, and that's really unacceptable. The MID is clear. It does give you all the information, even pertaining to the infotainment. So I don't have any complaints to the resolution or the information that they provide, but the design could have been better. Coming to the steering wheel, very good finish on that. Proper white stitching on the leather, wood on the top, and the buttons are okay. They're not very cheap, they're not very premium. They do the job really well, but they seem to be a similar buttons from the Brezza or the Baleno. So that's really not done. The reason I'm comparing this with Maruti is, you know why I'm comparing it with Maruti. So yeah, even though they don't borrow the underpinnings from any Maruti car for Innova, but they might have just used the plastic bits. This is a very different looking dashboard. This is how the dashboard looks. This is relatively soft. This is hard plastic. On the top, it's a relatively softer plastic. This is a proper premium wood finish panel. Has a wavy design to it. You can either hate it or love it because there would be nothing in between. They have kept the clock just like in the older Toyota Innovas. They have not made any change to it, which I would have rather appreciated if they had made a more modern clock. The AC vents are also in that wavy design. There is no chrome finish on any, because they're almost inconspicuous, the AC vents. So that's also acceptable, because if they would have tinkered around with chrome garnishes, it would have made it weird. The infotainment system this time around gets Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, and it's an 8-inch setup. Comes with proper rotatable buttons and tactical buttons, and is very similar to that of Fortuner. Very neat user interface and very easy to use interface, which I appreciate. The upgrades, however, from the last generation is as I mentioned, are the Android Auto and Apple CarPlay upgrades, which were not there. And it's kind of an obvious feature to have given the price of this car. The AC unit is slanting and it's just not in the right place, it feels somehow. But then it's a proper automatic climate control. I would have liked a different design for the AC controls, because that would have highlighted this dashboard better in a better way. But then that's just my opinion, subjective opinion. That's a traction control button, eco mode button, and power mode button. These are the lights for your passenger airbag, which Toyota normally provides even in the Fortuner. That's a 12-volt socket. That's a USB port, or a C. That's a 2.1 ampere charging socket. That's a USB. That's not a C type charger. I would have liked another C type. That's the wireless charger that you just see in the front. Ergonomically, there are two spaces to keep your stuff in, maybe the keys, bottles, again, another cup holder, a very chunky handbrake, no electric parking brake, which is okay. A decent automatics, I think they could have given electric parking brake, but nonetheless, it's very chunky to hold. Very broad center console, has a decent amount of space, no cooling function or anything of that sort, no wireless charger inside because they haven't given it to the front. There is again another USB socket. Coming to the glove boxes, there are two glove boxes. One is on the top and one is at the bottom. The bottom can also be locked, and both have decent amount of space. So there is a lot of space because there are two glove boxes. Bottle holders are on the smaller side on the driver on both the front doors. So coming back to the finishes on the handbrake and the handbrake is plasticky and the gear knob is very nice. It's very nice to hold and it's 6 speed transmission. So that is for the gear. So that's pretty much about the interiors. So this was the review of the Toyota Innova 2.4 Z variant diesel automatic. That is the highest you can go when it comes to the Toyota Innovas and will set you back around almost 30 lakhs because the ex-showroom price is 26.5 lakhs. It's a pretty reliable machine and it it might seem to be overpriced, but again it's still a good bargain because it's very reliable. It can drive for lakhs of kilometers without causing any problem. The service network and the maintenance costs are low, so that's a good bit about the Toyota Innova. So that was a review of the Toyota Innova. Let us know in the comments what you think about this car and would you buy it if you had a budget of say 26 to 27 lakhs? Would you go for the Jeep Compass, XUV 700, the newly launched Scorpio or the Tucson or this reliable and tried and tested Toyota Innova? Like and subscribe if you like our content. Keep on watching Throttle Up.